Welcome, everyone. I hope you are not just watching this video. I hope you are here to wake up. Because today, I'm not going to motivate you. I'm going to give you a mirror. A mirror that will show you the truth. Not the truth about the world. Not the truth about your job, your money, your parents, your past. No. I will show you the truth about you. The truth about the one thing that is silently shaping your entire life. Even when you're not paying attention to it. Your choices. Every failure, every success, every regret, every breakthrough is not luck. It's not fate. It's not destiny. It's a choice, a small one, a silent one, a repeated one. And what you don't realize is you are just one choice away from a completely different life. But most people never make that choice. They wait, they hope, they complain, they scroll, and they don't even realize. They are choosing all of it. Today, you will realize what you've been doing to yourself, and when this video ends, you will never see your life the same way again. It will also improve your English. Because here, you don't just learn English, you feel it, you grow with it. So listen carefully, let every word hit you, and if you're ready to grow, make sure you subscribe. Now let's begin. The deep psychology behind choice, why we keep choosing the wrong life, and how to break it. Let me ask you a question. Why do smart people stay stuck? Why do people say, I want to be successful, but continue watching Netflix for 6 hours? Why do people say, I want to change, but keep doing the exact same things every day? The answer is simple, but dangerous, because they are not aware of the hidden psychology behind every choice. Let's break it open. The human brain hates hard choices. Your brain is a survival machine. It is not designed for success. It is not designed for dreams. It is designed to keep you alive. And the best way to stay alive, according to the brain, is stay comfortable. Every time you have to choose between waking up early versus sleeping in, starting that business versus staying in a job you hate, facing pain versus avoiding it, your brain screams, choose comfort, choose safety, even if it destroys your future. Even if it leads to years of regret. Because to the brain, safety feels more important than success. That's the trap. Every choice is controlled by emotion, not logic. You think you're making logical decisions, but you're not. You're making emotional decisions, and justifying them with logic later. You say, I didn't go to the gym because I was tired. But the truth is, you didn't go because the emotional pain of getting up was stronger than the emotional reward of change. Success is not about making good choices. It's about training yourself to make emotionally painful choices every day without escaping the loop trap, how we repeat the same life. Here's the brutal part. Every time you choose comfort, you reinforce a loop. You're not just making a single choice. You're building a default setting. The brain learns. Oh, this is what we do. We skip the workout. We delay the work. We avoid the risk. And it makes that choice easier the next time. This is how people repeat the same life for 10 years. Because they made one bad choice and kept repeating it, one wrong relationship. One missed opportunity, one daily escape, one excuse that turned into a lifestyle. Your identity is just a collection of past choices. You think you're shy? You chose that label. You think you're lazy? That's just the result of 1,000 lazy choices. You think you're not confident? That's not personality. That's repetition. Your identity is not written in stone. It's built, moment by moment, from every decision you've made when nobody was watching. If you want to change who you are, you don't need a new life. You just need to start making new choices. The most dangerous choice is no choice. This is where most people lose everything. They don't choose growth. They don't choose comfort. They just avoid choosing. They live on autopilot. They say, I'll do it later. They say, maybe next year. They say, let's see what happens. But what they don't realize is, that is a choice. And it's the most dangerous one. Because when you don't choose your future, the world chooses it for you. And the world doesn't care about your dreams. The illusion of I had no choice. How many times have you said, I had no choice. I had to do this. I had to take this job. I had to stay in this relationship. No, you always had a choice. You just didn't like the pain that came with the better one. You chose the easier pain. There's no such thing as I had no choice. There is only the choice you were too afraid to make, the truth you didn't want to face, the discomfort you didn't want to feel. And every time you say, I had no choice, you are giving your power away. Every small choice builds a big life. You want to change your life? Stop looking for one big decision. Instead, choose to wake up early. Choose to read 5 pages. Choose to skip the junk food. Choose to say no to distractions. Choose to speak up when you're scared. Choose to sit with your pain instead of escaping it. Choose to move forward even when it hurts. These small, painful, boring, uncomfortable choices, they build the version of you you've been dreaming about, but you'll never meet that version until you make the choices that version would make. Now take a deep breath, because everything I just said means one thing. You are the architect of your life. You are not stuck. You are not broken. You are not helpless. You just have to choose differently. And once you do, your entire life will start changing slowly, silently, powerfully. Choice 1. Comfort versus pain. The choice that separates the 98% from the 2%. Every day, without knowing, you make the most important choice of your life. A choice that decides your future. A choice that shapes your identity. A choice that builds your destiny. It is the choice between comfort or pain. Not physical pain, not suffering, not tragedy. I'm talking about the productive pain. The pain of waking up early. The pain of discipline. The pain of studying when your brain is tired. The pain of saying no to distraction. The pain of going alone. The pain of being misunderstood. The pain of responsibility. The pain of hard work. The pain of routine. The pain of growth. This is the pain that builds you. But most people choose comfort, and that single choice destroys them slowly. Comfort feels like a warm blanket. Soft, safe, familiar. But comfort has a dark side. Comfort slowly kills dreams. Comfort slowly weakens confidence. Comfort slowly trains your brain to avoid effort. Comfort slowly convinces you that tomorrow is better. Comfort slowly creates a life that looks peaceful, but feels empty. Here's the truth. Comfort is where dreams go to die. Every time you choose comfort, sleeping more, delaying your goals, choosing entertainment over improvement, you are choosing a future full of regret. You don't see it today, but it will hit you years later as guilt, shame, and sadness. Now look at pain. Pain is uncomfortable. Pain is demanding. Pain requires courage. But pain builds character. Pain builds strength. Pain builds mind, body, and discipline. Pain is the place where your old self dies, and your new self is born. Pain gives you what comfort never will, a life you are proud of. Imagine you enter a building with 2 rooms. Room 1, comfort. Soft bed, warm lights, perfect temperature, unlimited food, Netflix on the wall. Everything feels easy, no effort, no struggle. But when you look at the back of the room, you see something. People sitting with empty eyes. People who never started anything. People who wasted their talent. People who had potential but never used it. People who regret their entire life. Everything is comfortable, but the energy is dead. Now walk into the second room. Room 2. Pain. Cold floor, hard work, mental struggle, sweat effort, discomfort. People here are tired. People here are pushing. People here are grinding. People here are choosing discipline. People here are choosing growth. They fall, but they get up. They fail, but they try again. They break, but they rebuild. They are not perfect. They are improving. When you stand in this room, you feel something powerful. Life energy, purpose, fire. Both rooms are uncomfortable. One is physically comfortable but emotionally painful. The other is physically painful but emotionally powerful. So the real question is, which pain do you want? The pain of discipline or the pain of regret? Because the pain of discipline lasts minutes, but the pain of regret lasts a lifetime. Most people will spend their whole life choosing the comfortable conversation, the comfortable routine, the comfortable choice, the comfortable path, and they'll never realize that comfort stole their future. Listen carefully. Discomfort is the price of your future. Pay it every day. That's the first choice. Choice 2. Responsibility versus blame. This choice changes everything. More than motivation, more than goals, more than discipline. Responsibility versus blame. This is the choice that turns a normal person into an unstoppable person. Most people wake up and immediately choose blame. They blame circumstances. They blame their past. They blame their parents. They blame society. They blame luck. They blame their partner. They blame their job. They blame everything except themselves. Blame is addictive. Blame feels good for a moment. Blame protects your ego. Blame convinces you that nothing is your fault. Every time you blame someone else, you lose power over your life. Blame makes you a prisoner. Responsibility sets you free. The psychology of blame. Humans blame because it removes guilt. Blame says, "It's not my fault I couldn't do anything." And in that moment, you feel safe. But it's fake safety. Because when you blame, you give control to someone else. If someone else is responsible for your life, then you cannot change anything. You become powerless, weak, helpless, and without knowing, you become a victim of your own choices. Responsibility. The birth of power. Responsibility is not about guilt. Responsibility is not about shame. Responsibility is not about "I'm wrong." Responsibility means, this is my life and I choose what happens next. Responsibility gives you control. It gives you strength. It gives you direction. The moment you take responsibility, your life stops being random and starts becoming designed. Imagine a man sitting in a room. In front of him, there is an empty chair. He blames that chair for everything. My life is bad because of that chair. I failed because of that chair. I have no confidence because of that chair. I am unhappy because of that chair. Every morning he wakes up, looks at it, and says, "You ruined my life." One day, someone enters the room and asks, "Why don't you just remove the chair?" The man becomes silent. He realizes something shocking. The chair wasn't controlling his life. his choice to keep blaming it was. He could have removed the chair any time, but he didn't. Not because he couldn't, but because blaming the chair was easier than changing himself. Now think about your life. What is your chair? A person, a relationship, a memory, a mistake, a fear, an excuse, a situation? You can remove it, but you don't, because it's easier to blame than to change. Blaming is emotional comfort. Responsibility is emotional growth. Blame feels good today. Responsibility feels good forever. Blame protects your ego. Responsibility builds your character. Blame keeps you stuck. Responsibility sets you free. Your life improves the moment you say, "My life is my responsibility. Not the world's, not my circumstances, not my past." This single sentence has changed millions of lives. It will change yours too, because responsibility gives you back the one thing you forgot you had. Power to change. Power to rebuild. Power to become someone new. Power to rewrite your future. Choice 3. Growth versus excuses. You say you want to grow. You say you want a better life. You say you want success, confidence, freedom. But then, you don't do what it takes. Why? Because when growth knocks at your door, you don't open it. You cover it with excuses. I don't have time. I'm too tired. I'm not ready. I don't know how. I'll do it later. What if I fail? What if they laugh? Every excuse feels real, but it's not truth. It's a trap. Because every time you choose an excuse over growth, you're not escaping pain. You're creating a weaker version of yourself, and the more you choose excuses, the more excuses become your personality. Excuses are easy to believe because they sound like reasons. They feel logical, they sound smart, but excuses don't protect you. They just slow kill your potential. They convince you that later is okay. They tell you the conditions are not right. They make you feel safe for now and lost forever. The truth is simple. Your future is waiting, but it will never wait forever. There is a voice inside you, a small one, a quiet one. It says, you can be more. You can do more. You were made for more. But every time you make an excuse, that voice gets quieter, and one day, it disappears. And when it's gone, you'll look in the mirror and not recognize who you've become. You'll ask, what happened to me? And the answer will be 1,000 tiny excuses. Imagine 2 people standing in front of an elevator. This elevator only opens once a year, and it goes to the floor of success. Person 1 runs to it, jumps inside, hits the button. Person 2 says, I'm not dressed properly. Maybe there's a better elevator. What if I don't belong there? Let me wait one more year. The doors close, and when they open next year, person 1 is already far ahead, while person 2 is still standing in the same spot. Growth is the elevator, excuses are the door you never enter. Every person you admire, they chose growth when it was painful. They chose growth when it was lonely. They chose growth when it was scary. And the only difference between them and you is that they chose differently. Stop thinking growth is about motivation. Growth is a war, you versus you, every day. And the only way to win is to choose. No more excuses. Not tomorrow, not next year, not someday, now. Choice 4, long-term versus short-term. Every single day you choose between 2 things, the long-term reward or the short-term pleasure. But you don't realize you're choosing because short-term is everywhere. Eat the junk food or cook something healthy. Scroll Instagram or read 1 page of a book. Gossip or work. React emotionally or breathe and reflect. Buy now or save for something meaningful. Tiny decisions. Every hour, every day. And each one either makes you stronger or silently destroys the future you could have had. Your brain is wired for short-term wins. It wants sugar. It wants dopamine. It wants now. And if you don't train your brain, you will lose your life to temporary pleasure. This is how people become addicted to scrolling, escaping, buying, blaming, laziness, chaos. They keep choosing what feels good for 5 minutes and end up with a life that feels empty for 50 years. Imagine a man digging a hole. Every time he eats junk food, he digs deeper. Every time he skips his goals, he digs deeper. Every time he escapes reality, he digs deeper. After 10 years. He looks up. And the hole is so deep, he can't even see the light. But here's the tragedy. He never noticed he was digging. He thought he was just living, just relaxing, just enjoying the moment. That's how short-term decisions work. They don't feel like destruction, but they are. Now imagine someone else. They choose hard things, reading, working, saving, showing up. At first it's boring, at first it's hard, at first it's lonely, but after 10 years, they're not in a hole. They're on top of a mountain. Same time, same years, different choices. Every truly successful person lives by this secret. If it feels good now, it might cost me later. But if it feels hard now, it will reward me later. That's the mindset. They sacrifice today so tomorrow can be beautiful. They delay pleasure so they can earn peace. They endure the storm so they can own the sunshine. This is the most painful truth of all. You're not punished for your short-term choices. You're punished by them. And you're not rewarded for your long-term choices. You're rewarded by them. So the question is not, how do I succeed? The question is, what am I choosing when no one is watching? Because life is not decided by big events. It's decided by small choices. The food, the scroll, the word, the hour, the emotion, the response. Choose the long term, every day. Especially when it's hard, especially when no one claps, especially when you're tired. Because 10 years from now, you will meet the result of what you're choosing today, and when that day comes, make sure you can smile and say, I built this. Choice 5. Identity versus image. This is the most silent war you will ever fight. And most people don't even know it's happening. Every single day, you are forced to make this choice. Will you live by your true identity? Or chase the image you want others to believe? Let's break it. Image is who you pretend to be when everyone is watching. Identity is quiet. Image is loud. Identity is built through struggle. Image is built through performance. Identity is your values, your truth, your vision. Image is your social media, your filters. Your show identity makes you strong on the inside. Image only makes you look good on the outside. And here's the tragic part. The more you chase the image, the more you lose the real you. Imagine a man. He's successful online. He posts motivational quotes. He shares gym selfies. He talks about discipline. But at night, he cries in silence. He feels fake. He feels tired. Why? Because every day he chooses image over identity. His outside looks perfect, but his inside is falling apart, and this is happening to millions. Not just influencers, not just celebrities, but normal people. You, me, everyone trying to be seen, liked, approved. When you chase image, you become a slave to opinion. You say things to impress. You do things for applause. You hide your truth to stay accepted. You perform your life instead of living it. This is why people burn out. not from doing too much, but from being someone they're not. The day you choose identity over image is the day your life becomes peaceful. You no longer fear judgment. You no longer need to prove yourself. You no longer feel lost trying to be someone. Because now, you are finally becoming you. You're not tired because you're weak. You're tired because you've been pretending. Stop it. Remove the mask. Choose your real self. Stand in your truth, even if no one claps, even if you lose likes, even if you lose fake friends. Because at the end of your life, you don't want people to say, he looked successful. You want to say, I was free, I was real, I was me. That's the power of choosing identity over image. Choice 6. Reaction versus reflection. This one choice will decide how peaceful or painful your life becomes, because the truth is, your life is not ruined by events. It's ruined by how you react to them. Something goes wrong. Someone insults you, a plan fails, a person leaves, an opportunity disappears, a dream crashes. You have two choices, reaction or reflection. What is reaction? Reaction is fast, impulsive, emotional. It feels like truth, but it's just your ego screaming for control. You react with anger, overthinking, blame, panic, revenge, drama, silence. You react to protect yourself, but in doing so, you usually destroy more than you protect. Reflection is still. It's where wisdom lives. You breathe. You zoom out. You ask, why did this trigger me? What can I learn? What does this teach me? How can I respond with clarity? Reflection turns chaos into clarity. Reaction multiplies chaos. Imagine a pot of boiling water. You drop 3 things into it: a carrot, an egg, a tea bag. After 10 minutes, the carrot becomes soft, the egg becomes hard. The tea bag transforms the water. Water, same heat. Different responses. Reaction is becoming soft like the carrot, breaking under pressure. Reaction is becoming hard like the egg, cold, closed, emotionless. But reflection is becoming the tea bag. It transforms the situation. It takes the heat and creates something beautiful, because they react to everything. Every comment, every look, every message, every delay, every opinion, every mistake. And so they live in permanent emotional chaos, always triggered, always defending, always blaming. But the people who master peace, they reflect before they respond. They take the power back. You don't have to attend every fight you're invited to. You don't have to answer every insult. You don't have to fix every problem right now. You can pause, breathe, think, choose your energy. That's how you gain emotional control. That's how you gain mental strength. That's how you become wise. Reaction is what children do. Reflection is what leaders do. Every time something triggers you, you're being given a test. Will you react like the old you, or reflect like the new you? This is how you upgrade your life, one silent choice at a time. Choice 7, alone versus approval. This is the most painful choice of all, the one we avoid, the one we deny, the one that decides our entire path in life. Every day you choose between being alone with your truth or surrounded by people who like your lie. Approval is addictive. You crave the like. You crave the good job. You crave the validation. Because deep down, you don't believe you're enough without it, so you start living for the audience. You say what they want to hear. You do what they expect. You wear the smile even when you're breaking inside. You become a version of yourself that is liked by many, but loved by none. Not even you. Every time you chase approval, you abandon a piece of yourself. You hide your dreams to stay accepted. You silence your truth to avoid arguments. You shrink your power so others feel comfortable. And over time, you become a stranger to yourself. You stand in a room full of people and still feel alone. Because approval may fill your notifications, but it will never fill your heart to choose alone means. You are willing to walk your path, even if no one claps. You are willing to stand in truth. Even if it's uncomfortable, you are willing to be misunderstood for the sake of being real. Not lonely, not isolated, just self-respecting. And that changes everything. There was once a painter. His work was beautiful, raw, real, but it didn't match the trends. People said, "Change your style, make what sells." He refused. He chose truth over approval. And for years, he was ignored. But one day, the world caught up to his truth, and his work became immortal. He was never liked by everyone, but he was remembered forever because he didn't follow the crowd. He followed his soul. You were not born to be understood by everyone. You were born to understand yourself. And sometimes, that means being alone. But that silence, that isolation, that resistance, it becomes the foundation of greatness. If you need the world to clap for you, you will dance like a puppet forever. But if you can clap for yourself, you become unstoppable. Don't chase approval. Chase alignment. Because that is where freedom begins. Choice 8. Now versus later. Every single day you choose, now or later, and you don't even notice. Later feels safe. Later feels smart. Later feels like a plan, but it's a lie. Because later becomes next week, next month, next year, someday, never. And suddenly, you wake up and realize your whole life became a series of maybes. You delay your dreams. You delay your progress. You delay your truth. You delay your growth. You delay the version of you that could have changed everything. And what do you get in return? Nothing. Just a quieter voice inside. Just more regret. Just another year wasted. Imagine a giant clock behind you. Every time you say later, the clock gets smaller. You don't notice. You still think you have time. But one day you turn around, and the clock is gone. You ran out. Not because you were weak, but because you kept choosing later. Now is scary. Now is uncertain. Now is full of resistance. But now is all you ever had. You want to change your life? Start now, speak now, write now, try now, apologize now, forgive now, create now, commit now, not when you feel ready, not when it's perfect, not when the stars align, just now. Most people don't lose to failure. They lose to later. You didn't fail because you tried. You failed because you never started, and that is the most tragic ending of all. This life, this one, is limited, and you don't get to choose how much time you have. You only get to choose what to do with it. So when you leave this video, don't say, "I'll change tomorrow." Don't say, "I'll start next week." Say, "I choose now." Because that one choice can rewrite everything. Choice 9. Forgiveness versus resentment. Resentment is heavy. It's dark, it's quiet, and it feels like protection. When someone hurts you, your brain says, "Hold on to this pain," because if you let it go, you might look weak. But the truth is, resentment doesn't protect you. It punishes you. Every time you replay what they did, every time you think of the betrayal, every time you hope for karma, you are not hurting them. You are hurting yourself. It steals your peace. It clouds your mind. It hardens your heart. It poisons your energy. It makes you bitter instead of better. It keeps you emotionally trapped in the past. And worst of all, It keeps the wound open. You cannot heal what you refuse to release. Forgiveness is not saying, what they did was okay. Forgiveness is saying, what they did no longer controls me. Forgiveness is not weakness. Forgiveness is power. You take your peace back. You take your focus back. You take your future back. Forgiveness is freedom. Imagine you're holding a glass of poison someone gave it to you years ago. You didn't deserve it. You didn't ask for it. But every day, you keep drinking it, hoping it will hurt them, but it never does. It only damages your mind, your heart, your life. And the moment you say, I choose to forgive, you drop the glass. You don't forget, you don't excuse. But you choose healing over hatred. Studies show forgiveness lowers anxiety, reduces depression, improves sleep, boosts immune system, and increases self-esteem. Not forgiving is like walking around with emotional chains, and you hold the key. They don't deserve your forgiveness, but you deserve peace. You deserve to move on. You deserve to feel light. You deserve to live free. So don't forgive them for them. Forgive them for you. That's how you win quietly, internally, powerfully. Choice 10. Creating versus consuming. This is the final brutal choice, and it's one that modern society doesn't want you to see because the world wants you distracted, addicted, stuck in loops, so you stay in the system. But you always have a choice. Every day, every hour, every minute, you are either creating or consuming. What does consuming look like? Scrolling for hours, watching everyone's life, living in comparison, numbing yourself with entertainment, buying things you don't need, filling silence with noise. Consuming is easy. It feels like you're part of something, but it's a lie. Consuming doesn't make you stronger. It makes you forget who you are. What does creating look like? Writing your thoughts, building your future, improving your craft, making art, solving problems, using your mind, making something that didn't exist before. Creation is hard, it's vulnerable, it's lonely, it's uncertain, but it's the only thing that leads to legacy. Imagine two people sitting at a table. One is watching a video about someone else's life. The other is writing a book about their own. One feels entertained. The other feels alive. One will forget what they saw in 10 minutes. The other will create something people remember for 10 years, same time. Same screen, different choice. Every hour spent consuming trains your brain to escape. You become reactive. You become passive. You become a follower of the world instead of a leader of your life. But the moment you create, your brain activates. Your soul comes alive and you start designing the life you were meant to live. If you don't create your life, you will consume someone else's. You'll wear their brand, watch their story, like their posts, follow their dream, buy their product, work in their company. While yours dies, the world doesn't need more people who scroll, it needs more people who build. And you can start now. One sentence, one idea, one video, one design, one decision. Stop watching life. Start shaping it, so now you've seen it. 10 choices, 10 doors, 10 moments that shape your life, every single day. And maybe right now, your heart is heavy, your mind is spinning, your soul feels exposed. Good, because that means this video did what it was meant to do. It didn't entertain you. It awakened you, because the truth is, you don't need a new year. You don't need more motivation. You don't need permission. You don't need someone to rescue you. You just need one thing, a new choice. Choose pain over comfort. Choose responsibility over blame. Choose growth over excuses. Choose identity over image. Choose healing over escaping. Choose forgiveness over resentment. Choose now over later. Choose reflection over reaction. Choose long-term over short-term. Choose simplicity over chaos. Choose to walk alone when you must. And most importantly, choose to live, not just exist. Because in the end, your life will not be defined by what you hoped for or what you dreamed of, or what you almost did. Your life will be defined by what you chose, when it was hard, when it was lonely, when it was silent, when it was uncomfortable. The power was always in you. You were just choosing not to use it. Until now. Now, if this video touched you, even for 1 second, don't forget to subscribe. This channel is not just here to motivate you. It's here to help you transform your mindset, your English, and your life. One powerful video at a time. And remember, your future is not waiting for luck. It's waiting for a better choice. Make it today, start now, and never go back. I'll see you in the next video, but for now, go choose your life before someone else chooses it for you.